Hello, everybody, and welcome to your first official Bloomingville training session. Everybody, I'm using the current autumn-winter 2018 catalog today, and I've jumped right into the very start of the catalog pages so you can join me. I'll make a couple of notes. You're going to see things that are marked sold out, and then I've got these darling little gold stickers that are going to denote something hot on several of the pages. We all know that the bestsellers and creative only represent a limited amount of the line. And so what I've done here is try to really give you some talking points on each of the pages out there in the line. So I encourage you guys to not necessarily start that front page of the catalog. You guys know your customers the best and you know where to start them. So if they're selling casual country, you're probably not going to open them up to these sweet little votive holder and tea light holders on the very first page of the catalog. I would take them back to our acacia wood cutting boards potentially. So make sure that you're leading them where you want them to go to get that first yes. And always that first yes doesn't mean that it's going to happen on the first page of the catalog. So take them where you want them to go. All right, without further ado, I'm going to jump right in. You're going to see this little red pointer here, and I'll point out some hot sellers and some different things on the pages. And just know that the very first page of the catalog, guys, has a whole bunch of tea light holders here. So these tea light holders make fantastic succulent pots. You can put air plants in them, and we all know the hot trend right now with garden centers and many of the even urban and rural areas are popping up with little stores that you can build a little garden, take little pots with air plants home in them. These would be darling to put place settings at a holiday table as well. You could pop a little tree or a little stem in there and they would be really cute. So you don't have to just be a tea light holder. So think about multi-uses. They'd also be great desk accessories to hold all of those paper clips, or in the restroom, you could do them as Q-tip holders. So there's lots of things that you can do with them. So my goal here is to kind of give you finishes and see what's going on. And you all know birds are hot. So I'll start with these little guys down here on the bottom. They're $7 for the set of 2. And this is a porcelain little tea light holder. And we all know that birds are one of the best things out there. Number 5 has the word happy written across it so that you can see that. And then over here on page 5, you're going to see these white matte tea light holders in the middle, and they make wonderful vases. This is probably one of our best sellers from the get-go. Anything that has a matte white finish, which basically means it's got a little texture to it. It's not smooth and shiny ceramic. It's got a little texture to it. And then 3 and 4, we all know the popularity of cactus out there. And these are porcelain, but it almost looks like that really thin bisque material. So just a really pretty, delicate container. And then grandma's retro vintage glasses in number 6 here. So you'll see a lot of our etched glass pieces as we go through the Bloomingville brand and jump right into the catalog. On the next page, you're going to see number 1 and 2, and these are great little tea light holders. They've got a little inset in them, and the glass actually comes off the marble base. I think these would be darling for a little air plant. You could put a cute little tree in it for the holidays, or a little figurine if you wanted to. And then number 3 goes perfect with all of our pantry collection candle in our flare line. So all of your tapers on all of the holiday orders, and gold is a hot trend that we're seeing all over the place. And so you guys kind of know that that little gold finish is out there, and please mention these because the price point on them are great. And then number 4 is another great little piece I think would be perfect for the holidays, sitting as a place card holder with a little great, tree in front of it. Just a really sweet piece that you could also use in the vanity. You could keep anything from makeup brushes in them to little office supplies, so utilize that. And then number 6 here, this is kind of a fun little set, and they have kind of a mixed metal with the enamel and the gold tea light holders here, and you can flip them either way. So you could put the tea light on the top or the bottom, or you could very easily use this as a little vase, put a little air plant on the top of it, little succulent on them. And then as we jump over to this page on number 1 and number 2, these little candle holders are not little at all. You definitely can get a 4-inch pillar on them. So again, perfect for our pantry collection, which should be in everybody's pantry from Flair on the creative side. These also are great with pots sitting on the top of them. So it makes that pot actually have a pedestal base on them. And then 3 and 4 have that ombre look over here. So kind of a bronze to gray to cream colored look. Just perfect for that holiday little extra light. And then you probably recognize number 5. We have something very similar, and these little birch tree tea light holders look very similar to what you're going to see in the creative side as well. All of them have glass inserts with the exception of the itty bitty one down here. So these guys could be more tea light votive or a little, base. And then this little guy is definitely for a tea light in the middle there. And jumping back in over here, number 6 and number 7, I want to point out these guys. These have a glass vase on it. And then that little insert in there is actually glass as well. So you could very easily put flowers with water in this. You could put water with our goldfish or our frogs in them. And then the base has just that very neutral, great, clean, raw kind of finished wood on it that you could customize easily too. You could stain it. You have that store that likes to hold events. They could paint it different colors. And then you've got some great cement over here. We know that was kind of a fun hot trend as well. Got some cement taper / tea light holders. And then you've got marble down here on the bottom. Then we have some wonderful lanterns over here, which we all know that in the heavy Midwestern storms of the season, these tend to blow off, and on the coast as well we get some nice winds. So these 2 pieces right here are very heavy stoneware with metal handles on them, so they're very sturdy and they could probably sit outside in a pretty thick windstorm. Now if we're talking hurricane, probably not, but I just want you to know how durable these pieces are. We've got 2 little pieces down here that have the bamboo, and this has a glass inset in the inside of it. So if you put an LED candle in there, or you actually put a candle down in there, it won't blow out in the wind as well. And same with these 2 little natural seagrass lanterns down here on the bottom of this little page. And guys, I'm not going to go through every single thing. I want to kind of show you some great pieces and give you the glam shots in the catalog actually have really good representation. Now, not everything in the glam shot is in the catalog. Some of these pieces are from our Danish sister company in Europe. So we don't have everything that they have over there because we have to test everything in the US. So that's one thing I do like to call out is we do use some of their pictures, but we don't have everything that they have, and they don't have everything that we have as we start to customize and do things here in the US. So number 1 and number 2, they have a great kind of a blush pink color. It says nude in the catalog, but it is more on that blush line, and it is that matte finish. And then number 3 looks like it's small. Guys, get out your tape measures. This piece is almost 10 inches tall. It's a nice big fat piece, and it would make a fantastic holiday centerpiece, or put 3 down a table with stems in it. It would be absolutely gorgeous. And you can kind of see that little belly ring that's around the center of this here with that brass finish on it. It's beautiful. So we've got a couple more just that retro vintage glass pieces down here on 7, 8, and 9. We love that little etched glass feeling there. So again, great fall color. And then you've got some clear glass pieces here that can be used for anything from just a vase with 1 palm in it to something just fun and a floral mixture here too. So check out your prices. Number 9 on this page is $4.50. Guys, this line retails most of the line. About 70% of the line can retail for under $60. And then we have pieces that are going to price all the way up to over $1,000. So just kind of know that as well. One of my favorite new pieces here, over here on the left, these top 2 wall vases are fantastic. They actually have a flat back on them, so they would sit up on a counter, or you can hang them on the wall. I love this first one here because it's $6. So you could do all the fresh herbs in your kitchen, and you could drop them in there, and you could water them regularly. It is a little vase. You could use this one for utensils in your kitchen. You could use it for any of your makeup brushes, any of your toiletries, your toothbrushes, your beard brushes, any of that type of thing too. These would make great pieces anywhere. They'd be great in an office, small spaces hanging on the wall to get those pens and pencils and scissors out of the way in a room. So be creative with our Bloomingville product. Here you got another little white matte base here. And then this piece here is $7.50. It's a great fall color, and it looks really good with a lot of our stoneware kitchen pieces that we'll see further on down the book. And then this little set here at $5.50, you kind of have a nice little light blue color and then a very neutral kind of sand dual textured color on this piece. So look at that. And then we've got another matte white. I'm telling you guys, matte white is hot. So sell it, sell it, sell it. And then you've got a very heavy marble base here. And literally you could probably take this and like the old Clue game, for those of you that were back in the time, you could probably do some damage with Miss Scarlet in the library with this piece here. Over here on the top, this is one of our new pieces that we launched in January in this little set of 3 terracotta vases. Over here, just a great addition to anything, and this could go very easily into a fall colorway. So any of your stores that are looking just for something that doesn't scream pumpkin, Halloween, that they just want something classy that would last through November and even on into every day, this is a wonderful little set, and it's $11 for all 3 pieces. And all of the sets on here have great price points on them. This in the middle here matches the Barbara Dinnerware collection. And then you've got 2 pieces down here that you might recognize from Mint and Mist, so similar formats down here. And then our little set of 8 stoneware vases with the reactive glaze finish, meaning no 2 are going to be exactly alike and no 2 will look alike. They could be exactly the same color but fired in different parts of the kiln, and they come out completely different looking. But the price on these guys is $2 a piece. So I encourage you guys really get out there and show your retailers, hey, there's some value to this line. We've got all different price points, we've got all different levels, but that is there. So now we'll get into some of my fun pieces. And if you don't know me well enough, I do like to have a little glass of wine in the evening, and pretty much every container that is 6 inches round in the Bloomingville line can have ice and hold a wine bottle. So you'll see me reference that a lot, but it is kind of a fun little piece. The piece that I'm pointing at down here is actually a dual vase. So it means there's 2 vases in one, and you can pull this out and you can literally get 2 vases. And then this is like a it's metal. All of it is metal, but it's a marble metal, kind of a faux marble metal navy finish on the outside of it. And you kind of see that up here as well on this piece up here that has that faux marble metal finish to it. So it just kind of gives it a different little elevation of style in these guys. You can definitely fit a wine bottle in this little baby right here, and then this guy right here as well, and his $8.50, but he would make a great container for utensils in the kitchen. So a lot of our pieces, you know, that you start in with a kitchen store and they're like, well, I don't do any vases or anything like that. Think about things that you can put in it, from utensils in the kitchen to a little bottle of wine on the table. So give them something to think about there as well. This piece, we just came out with this launch here in the summer, and I love this. I actually had a wine store talk to me. It's just glass, and she was going to do her wine flights in it. And you guys know how many wineries are out there, or how many little restaurants, or how many little, you know, tea rooms and coffee shops are out there. You could do a microbrewery, and they could do microbrew flights in that glassware as well. So she had all kinds of fun ideas that she was doing. It's just glass. So, hey, why not? Hey, whatever it takes. I always like to steal shamelessly and share relentlessly. That's my philosophy in life. This piece right here, you'll see it over here. And this was on almost every single order. This has got a great fall color story here, guys. And you kind of see just the neutrality of the color in it with that little nebby finish on it. I think these are really great. And this little guy is a little bit shorter in size than this one is. So think about half the size. It's about 3.5 inches shorter in real life. So just kind of know that. And then this little guy down here with this etched glass with the brown is also a great neutral color for the holiday season upcoming. I love the little dual texture on this gray vase here. It's kind of got that You've seen it in Creative several times, and you'll see it in Bloomingville quite a bit as well, where they have the dual colors with that little rough stoneware finish to it. And then the three in the middle here are matte, and it does say gray, but a lot of our customers do think of this more as a black color. So it's not shiny black, it's that matte black, but it does say gray on it. To me, this is more light gray over here, and this is more of a black color story. So whatever your customer likes, that's what you want it to be, right? Up here on the top, number one, this is absolutely gorgeous. I made a gorgeous wedding centerpiece, gorgeous for the holidays. You could do great big, tall florals in the top of it, and I think that would be an amazing piece. And then number four down here, you actually can take the little vase off of the base of it. So if you wanted to put an air plant in there and you wanted to spritz it, but you wanted to take the top off of it to not get the glass so dirty. And I always encourage you guys, if you're selling all of the misters that we have in the Creative line, to tell them to use that distilled water in them, because then when you're spraying glass, it doesn't leave that residue on the glass that you get from regular tap water. So they can put distilled water in there and have clean glass. And it's another great way that you can do clean in the stores. They're always looking for something there as well. So here are all of the wonderful white pieces too. And any of these pieces do extremely well. You'll see there's a star, and this means it's this whole entire page. So number one and number two kind of have that fleck in them with reactive glades that can kind of go into that beige pattern kind of color story for you. And then number seven, this piece, this is one of my favorite pieces. I have three of them at any given time in my kitchen. One of them has an actual aloe vera plant in them. One I use for my utensils, and then the other one moves around. Sometimes mayo is in it, sometimes there's ice with a little bottle of wine in it. It just depends on what I'm doing for the day with what I do with that. And there's four different colors of this, and this is $8, guys. This is a great sample to carry with you. Comes in gray, white, kind of a taupey color, and then it kind of comes in a lighter green mint color. So just kind of note that. And then number 10 should also be on every single order. These make little great succulent gardens, just great little planters with spider plant, something like that in it. And you're getting both pieces for $15. Don't know how we do it some days. Over here on the right, anything with feet are hot and on trend. So these two little pieces right here we came out with, and they're darling. You have to have them. They kind of have a dual texture. You can kind of see the base is a little bit darker than the top is. And again, you could definitely put a bottle of wine, anything that's a 6-inch pot or more, you could get a bottle of wine or champagne in. That's my tip. And then you have the little footed stoneware pot here, which is just cute and darling. So I love these two pieces on the bottom. Again, obviously great for succulents, flowers, containers, but this also will hold our little dessert napkins. So you could do napkins very easily in it. And then this little guy here would be great for party picks. So with all of our tailgating coming up for football season or all of our holiday parties, these would be a great little thing to put little party picks in, and then they can serve themselves hors d'oeuvres. Love this matte white base here for $5. It is a fantastic flower pot. You can do so much with it. I also encourage you to carry this piece as a sample because it shows you the matte white texture in your sample kit. And there's just kind of a great little picture with the glam pictures. And then this kind of is going to have your color stories in it. So this one has that kind of fish scale pattern on it. And there's two other ones. There's a gray one and a green one that look great too. But these two I think are perfect. Actually, all three of these are perfect fall colorway and kind of into that new orange and navy trend that we're seeing that's so popular out there right now. You've got some great pieces on here. And then if you're doing any of the mud cloth that Tamara's doing on Creative, this was one of our top 10 items out of the summer show season. It's this great stoneware flower pot, and you could get 3 bottles of that one. So just so you know, I think that anything with feet on it, you're seeing it's just everywhere. So we love that, and we love the little tribal element to it. and there's some great pieces that coordinate with this as well, so make sure you're not missing anything. These two little pieces down here, the navy blue, and again, I mentioned the navy and the orange trend. We're seeing that a lot out in the marketplace, so kind of know that. And then black and white always remains hot. And then green is our new black. So those are my tips for there. This is a reactive glaze, and this one is very different. So I don't know, I'll send you guys some pictures too when we go through training, just so you guys see the actual difference in the reactive glaze. Some of them could be more navy. Some of them could have white on the bottom of them. It just depends on how it was glazed in the kiln as well. So again, here's just a fun little glam shot, and there's more of those fish scale pattern pieces, this gray one, the green one here, and then those $8 pots on the bottom that I said I have 3. The gray one is the one I have 3 of. These guys down here are just all really, really great reordered pieces, kind of that must have. And I call them everyday essentials. You guys know them as bread and butters. I think they're everyday essentials because everybody should have them every day in their stores and in their homes. I got another few, this marigold kind of color right here, number 5 and 6 in these stoneware flower pots over here, just have a great color story, and they have kind of that rough finish to them, so it just gives it a little bit of extra texture and feel. And number 8, fantastic price point, guys, $2.50. Where are you going to get a little 3-inch pot piece right there for $2.50? Nowhere. So got another great piece there as well. And number 1 and number 2, this was out of our January market. Those are the top 10 pieces there. And I saw these actually, if you watch Hidden Potential with Jasmine Roth on Tuesday nights on HGTV, this was sitting in her thing. And then Justina from the Jungalow in her blog, she had this piece there as well. So we're really excited about that. And number 5, I think this is just a great little tripod planter. And you could very easily in your, obviously put a plant in it, but you could in your restroom, in your powder rooms, roll towels up in it. You could do magazines in a small space. Obviously, you could put it out by a pool, do some fun things in there, put some rocks in there, and little tea light holders in there. It would be a great little set. So love those. On this page, number 7, you'll recognize probably 4, 5, and 6. There's something similar in the creative line that was white, I believe. So you guys know how well those did in there. So we brought them in the black color story for our European brand. And then number 7, I love these little baskets that are on casters. These are fantastic in the stores for ornaments. So as your customers are getting all of their huge creative ornaments in and they're like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do with these roll around. They roll around so they're easily refillable. You could use them in the kitchen utensils. They could tuck with magazines underneath a coffee table. They would be great in a mud room, tucked under with shoes or toys or dog leashes, dog toys, anything like that. So just very universal pieces. And the new, powder rooms and the restrooms now have, open cabinets. So this would be great also to put all of your, toilet paper, your towels, anything like that, and tuck them underneath the cabinets for that. So all of our hanging planters, again, the terracotta number 1 and number 2, just great with the jute rope hangers. These were, again, one of our best sellers out of the summer show season and the summer launch. And then number 9 actually comes with the glass inside of that. And it's mango wood beads. And it's really a nice long piece. It's about 2.5 feet long, but the glass does come in there. So if you wanted to put some of the LED lights and hang these outside, I think it would be a great addition, but it also looks great with a little plant in it as well. And you guys know how crazy good we did with all of our hanging pieces. And again, over here, number 1 and number 2 are only the little macrame hangers. So you can put anything from a plate to a flower pot planter in it. So either one of those things. And then you have all of your hanging pieces here. I love this suede tray. Yes, it is gray, and yes, it is suede, and it is fantastic. Should be on every single order. On this little guy, this little decorative palm mirror thing, it has a side on it that's about 2 inches tall that is gold. So it has kind of that gold and green color story on it. And then we have this little elevated pedestal. It looks like it's a tray. It's mirrored with brass, and the mirror is food safe, but the metal isn't, so it can't be food safe. Just so you guys know, if it says decorative on our side in kitchen, anything in the kitchen section, it is not food safe. So you will have a food safe list on our side as well. Got some great, anybody that's doing just the functionality and the prettiness of a piece, this little watering can, and just a great little piece that you wouldn't mind setting out all day long to water your plants in your home with. And then this guy down here is a cement tray, and this looks great with our hourglasses from Creative on it. Looks great with salt and pepper. Looks great with little pinch pots down the middle of it. Oil and vinegar pots. You could do our soap and our hand wash and dish soap on it from Flair, which makes a great little tray and grab and go gift. And then this little piece has always believed that something wonderful is about to happen. And look, it did with Bloomingville, right guys? So really excited to have you guys on board. You can see all of our seagrass baskets here, and we've got some great price points on sets here. And you guys probably recognize this little guy down here. I think these are fantastic. Again, multi-uses for these, roll towels in them, use them for magazines, use them as planters. There's so many just different things that you can do with them. And I think that's been one of our best sellers going forward too. And then these two guys down here on the bottom, we actually had some last year that were very successful, and they were about $97 a piece. And Tamara and her amazing team went over and sourced them from a different vendor, and we got the price point down for the exact same look. So we're really excited. They're about half the price that they were last year. So guys, call this out. You get two great, and they're hard-sided seagrass baskets that you can use for anything from a tree in a furniture store. You can flip them upside down and use them as a pedestal base in the stores for display. So there's tons of different uses that you can use for all of them out there, and some great little sets of 3 baskets, and you can do multiple things with them. I've got a star on this page because basically all of our belly baskets are fantastic, and I know that you guys have them in sets on the Creative side. Let me tell you what I love to do. I'm saying, hey, why don't you come to my house, bring some chips, some salsa, maybe some sangria or some Kool-Aid, some punch, throw it in the bag, and you head to my house for a party. When you get there, guys, this little baby folds down, and you can literally fold it in, and it makes a great bowl. So you could put a little towel in it, put your chips out in it, and you have a great little piece that you could leave with your hostess as well. So I think that is a great idea there. So our belly baskets do extremely well on our side. And then here, I love number 2. These obviously, they say big metal storage baskets, but guys, you can flip these babies upside down and use them as little tables. It could be a little stool. Now, it isn't weight tested, but I have sat on it, so it holds a lot of weight, so you guys are good there. And some great laundry powder things here. So if you're selling, laundry soap and Flair, this is a great little addition here. The laundry powder, fill me up, wash, dry, repeat. Some great dorm pieces here. And then on this side, number 1 and number 2, this is black bamboo. So it is very lightweight. It looks metal, but they are lightweight, and you could easily do 4 of these. Number 4, if you did 3 of these laying down the center of a table, how fantastic would that be with some great florals on top of it as an awesome centerpiece? So I really love that. Number 2, you can actually see through to the back side of this piece, so you can see the wall color. So if you had a green wall, everything that's white here would be green and showing through it. So it really can make a great statement piece. And number 3, that mirror will hang both ways, will hang either way. And I just think that's a great little piece with the added touch and pop of gold brass finish on the outside of it. And number 6 is actually enamel metal with the little gold hands. So great little accent piece there as well. And y'all know how well we've done with all of our tapestry, all of our woven wall hangings. Number 1, that navy one, and you can kind of see it in this glam shot over here. There's actually bamboo woven into the pieces. So you've got just great texture, something different, and a little bit different aesthetic there for us. And then number 2, bestseller forever. It's kind of just a good gray cream wall piece there. And then you've got some more wall pieces. The price points on these guys up here on the top are fantastic. So $650 and $650, and you could easily hang 2 or 3 of these together. And then all of our picture frames have done extremely well. And then, but first, cocktails, one of our top sellers from our summer show release. And then you've got these great botanical prints up here. And guys, the actual picture on this page does not do these guys justice at all. They are 2 feet by a little over 2 feet big, long, wide, high, all of that. And they have kind of that ripped, almost it looks like a ripped paper material or burnt edge behind it in the picture. And you could hang 1 together, you could do 2 on a wall, you could do 6 on a massive wall. So really check those out. Those we've sold the bejesus out of and should be on every order. Down here, it's kind of hard to see this, but it says Rosé all day and Yes Way Rosé. And if you don't know what rosé is, please come ask me. It's a new hot thing out in the marketplace. It's a type of wine, and frosés are all the craze as well, where you actually freeze rosé in the ice cube trays. So don't forget to mention that, especially for your holiday open houses. And then you've got a great picture up here with the cactus on the center of it. You've got some great blue botanical pieces down here. You've got a wonderful still life here, and she's kind of hard to see, but there is a little kitty sitting on a chair. So very Bloomingville related. And then this was a top seller from our show season. And again, the size does not do it justice in this image here. This little guy, and they're not little, but they're a little over 2 feet high and about 1.5 inches wide, and they're gold with the black, and they just have that great abstract art. Somebody came to me and said, oh, it looks like, just a very cool art print, and that's exactly what it is. And the price point on them is so reasonable. And then we also have the botanicals here, and this has a wood frame around the outside of it. I do want to mention, guys, if you see the word Bloomingville, like for instance, this has New York, it says Bloomingville on it, or you see this one right now, Expect Nothing, Appreciate Everything, and there's Bloomingville branded on the bottom of it. This is an older piece. All of our newer pieces, now that we have the buying power in the US, will not say Bloomingville going forward. So just so that you guys kind of know that. And this set right here, this little mango wood wall shelves, you guys know the trend in the kitchen is no cupboards, and in the living room or in the bathrooms, these just make great little pieces that you could do so much with and feature things on them, and they'd be great in the stores as well. So this set has done really well. And this guy here in the center is gigantic. It's 3 feet in diameter, guys. It's huge. The relief on it just pops off the wall, and it's got that gray piece. But for as large as it is, for $54, and it's got all of the little, indentions and things on it. So please point that out as well. Got a really great look there, and it looks like it's teeny tiny and it's huge. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and stop this round here, and we will continue on with our glass pieces here. So give me 2 seconds and we'll jump back into the next round.